Hello and welcome back to my channel of free trade analysis. I am Vaji Kazmi. If you are new to the channel, then please like my channel and also click on the bell icon so you can receive my notifications on a regular basis. We try to give you trades on a daily basis for your intraday trading purpose. And if you would like to make consistent profits, then you would like to see my analysis regularly, and you guys can also identify the pattern that almost 80 to 90% of our analysis are correct, and we are almost making good profits on a regular basis. Okay, so let's continue with our today's analysis of dollar, which is the DXY analysis. So let's continue with the dollar analysis today. Okay, so when we were last analyzing this pair on the 1st of September, the market was trending over here, and we gave you several scenarios, and you guys can clearly see that our selling scenario has been hit perfectly, and even the buying setup has been executed. So if you guys would have taken the trades that I had given, then you guys could have made good profits. Okay, so let me just zoom in a little and study the trades that I gave you when we were last studying this market. Okay, so when the market broke past this area and respected this area, the market went down. But I gave you a buying scenario from this area, but you guys can clearly see that market had broken past down even this area. So then I gave you a trade of this selling setup, which came into play beautifully, and this super selling setup also came into play. Okay, if you were a risky seller, even then you guys could have made a profit. If you were a non-risky seller, and still you guys would have made some good profit. Okay, now let's see that how much profit would you guys have made if you guys would have been a risky seller. You guys would have gone short from here, but you guys would have hit your first stop loss in this candle. But if you guys would have continued with your sell from this trade, which was over here, and you guys could have made a good profit approximately till here. Okay, which is a good 1%. So no profit no loss situation. If you guys were a risky trader and if you guys were a safety trader, then definitely this was an easy 1% profit from here. And then we gave you a long scenario that if market enters this area and then breaks above this area, then maybe we could go long. You guys can clearly see that market entered this area, broke past this area, and closed below this area, but market could not sustain this area anymore, and market closed back above, gaining all the momentum back up. So for this setup, you guys should have and must have gone to the lower time frame chart, so you guys could have easily identified the trend that from where you guys had to go long. Once the market had entered this area and market had closed above this area, you guys could have easily gone long from here, and your stop loss would be approximately this area, and you guys would still be running in good profit, and which would be approximately 1.1% profit. Okay, so and this trade is still active as well. Okay, so now let's study the current market scenario, that what this pair has to offer us tomorrow. Okay, so what we can say that when we were discussing the market last time, market was over here, and market has is almost on the same area today as well. Considering that it is in a support area, it is expected that market will go up and market will push higher. Okay, so let me just put on the scenarios that can come into play tomorrow. Okay, so we guys can have a better idea. Okay, so first of all, let me just simply remove the previous drawing so you guys can have a clear idea that what I'm saying. As this area is still a very active resistance zone, so I'm still going to mark this area as a current short-term resistance area. A new support has been formed over here, so I'm going to mark this area as a short-term support zone. I'm going to change its color to green so it is more clear that this is a support zone. Okay, this is now our currently swing low and this is our swing high. So I am expecting that this area will be taken out tomorrow. Okay. So I am waiting for a long trade. Okay, but first of all, let me mark the recent level, which is over here. This is a support area. Okay, and let me also mark a resistance level, which is this. Okay, so if this level is respected again, then we can go long or short accordingly from here. Okay, so now let me mark all the scenarios. First of all, if this area is respected again, then maybe we can go short from here. And on the other hand, if market just simply breaks past this area, then maybe we can go short straight away. But similarly, if market respects this area and closes above this area, then we will look for good long trades. Okay, let me change its color to green. And on the other hand, if market simply breaks above this area, then maybe we can go long from here as well. Okay, so these will be the buying and selling setups that we can easily identify. And now some setups for risky buyers and sellers. If market respects this area and closes below this area, then maybe we can look for some short trades from here. And on the other hand, if market enters this area, then we are going to look for some good long entries from here. Okay, so we have to be vigilant. If market enters this area and respects this area, then maybe we can go long from here as well. Let me just mark this area something like this. Okay, so just be vigilant for this area as well. Okay, so let us just wait and watch that what can happen from here. And another risky buying entry would be if the market closes above this area, then maybe we can go long from here. Rather, as you guys can clearly see that market is in an uptrend, and if market continues to do so and market breaks past this area, and once it comes back and tests this area again and it closes above this area again, then maybe we can go long from here, something like this. Okay, so we have to be vigilant that what the market is doing. So these are the possible scenarios for tomorrow for the dollar analysis. So just trade accordingly and do your best. Okay, now let's move on to the next pair, which is the Euro USD pair. Now let's see that what this pair has done with us in the past. So now let's go to the 1 hour chart and let's see that when we were, as you guys can clearly see that when we were discussing this yesterday, the market was over at this area and we gave you several setups. This selling setup was given if market closed below this area, but this did not come into play. Then we gave you a buying setup. This was a risky buy setup. If market closes above this area, then you guys could have gone long from here. And you guys can clearly see that when market closed above this area, then market continued its momentum and gave us a good profit till here. Okay, now if we were a risky buyer, we would have gone first of all from here, but our stop loss would have been hit in the this third candle, this candle. So let me just push it a little higher, and this would be the second entry for us, and our take profit would be approximately this level and our stop loss would be approximately this level. So this would be a 0.7 percent profit, so which is not huge, but still almost we covered our short-term loss, which was of 1%, and we immediately covered 0.7%. So only 0.3% stop loss being hit in this pair currently. Okay, so the second scenario that we gave you, that if market closes below this area, then we could go short. Okay, you guys can clearly see market enters this area. As you guys can clearly see, market went above this area and then once again entered this area and respected this area again, and then market went short. So we will go short from here. Okay, but for that we have to move to the 15 minutes chart so we guys can identify our selling opportunity properly. Okay, so we would go short from here, so which would be this candle, and our stop loss would be exactly above this candle, and our take profit would be somewhere around here. Okay, so this is a 0.79%, which is a 0.8% profit, and this trade would still be running in profit. So if still overall we would be in only 0.5% profit in this pair, but still at least we got out of our loss situation, which was only 0.3%. Okay, so now let us go back to the 1 hour chart and discuss that what this pair has to offer us tomorrow. I am going to remove the previous scenarios, so that we can continue with today's analysis. I am going to remove the scenarios only and not the levels, so you guys can easily just follow the scenarios and continue with your trading. Okay, as you guys can clearly see, the market is currently at the same level. When you were last discussing, market was over here, and now market is over here, and this area is still acting as an area of resistance. So, but what we have seen is that market did not respect this area when it was going up, but once again, when market broke below this area, then this area was respected again. So now we can clearly see that this area is now clearly acting as an area of resistance. So we would like to see something like this. The first scenario would be if market tests this area and closes below this area, then we will go short. Okay, let me change its color to red. The second scenario would be if market just simply closes below this support zone, then we can go short. That would be a risky short trade. Another short trade would come into play if market breaks this area and then respects this support area, and then once again market closes below this area, then we will go short once again. Okay, on the other hand, if we look at the buying scenarios, the buying scenario might come into play if market enters this zone and then market respects this area, then maybe we can go long from here. Okay, I'm going to change its color to green so you guys can identify the buying pattern. Another buying opportunity would arrive if the market closes above this area of resistance. Market closes above this area, then maybe we can go long from here as well. Be vigilant and open the chart in the smaller time frame, which is the 15 minutes chart, so you guys can make more profits. Okay, now the currently we have another level of resistance, short-term resistance, which is this level. Okay, market has a good potential of testing this area. Let me just mark this area completely so we do not get confused by this area, as this area might act as an area of resistance. Okay, so just let us just wait and watch that what can happen tomorrow. But these are some of the scenarios that can come into play. Let me also mark this area as an area of resistance, and if market at any given point of time enters over here, then we will have to look for some good short trades, and on the other hand, if market enters this swing low area, then we are going to look for some good long trades. Okay, I am changing its color to green so we can clearly see that this is the area from where we can go long. Okay, so this is only for your comfort purpose, so you guys do not miss any trading opportunities tomorrow in this Euro USD analysis. Okay, so now that's all from this pair. Now let's move on to the next pair, which is the GBP USD. Now let's do the GBP analysis for tomorrow. Okay, so if we look at the GBP chart in the 1 hour chart, when we were last discussing this pair, market was over here, and we gave you the scenarios that a market enters this area and gives her enters this area and closes and rejects this area, then we will go short. You guys can see that market entered this area and market rejected this area, then we would have made profit till here. And on the other hand, you can also see that we gave you another trade that if market breaks past this area, then maybe we can go long, but that did not really came into play, and if you were a risky seller, then we would have hit our stop loss immediately. So but you guys can clearly see that our this given level was respected once again. You guys can clearly see that market broke past this area, but once again when market entered this area and broke below this area, then market could not break past it, and we guys could have gone short from here once again. Okay, now let me just mention the trades area, that what we could that how we could have taken the trades, so you guys can have a better idea. And another trade that I am currently having a look at is that when I mentioned that if market enters this zone, this green area, and then we have to look for a good buying opportunity, and you guys can clearly see that market tested this area partially, and then market closed above this area. If we would have entered over here, then we would have made some good profit till here at least. Okay, or rather till here before hitting any of our stop loss. Okay, so this trade would have given us some good profits. So and and you guys can clearly see that when market entered over here, then we went up till here, and then when market entered over here once again, then we entered and closed above this area. The market gave us a good profit till here as well. So twice this area came into play in the long trades, and once this setup came into play, which was off selling. Okay, now let us go to the 15 minutes chart to identify our trades more clearly. So we can measure the amount of profits that we would have made from this pair. Okay, so you guys can clearly see that when market was over here and market entered this area, we were looking for a good short scenario which was over here. Okay, so when we would take a trade, we would trigger this is our first top, and then market close above, and this is a second top, and we would take a selling position over here. Okay, so our stop loss would be exactly above this candle, and our take profit would be approximately over here. So this is approximately 4.7% profit from this selling scenario. And even second time when this has happened, we could have still made another profit from here. Our stop loss would be exactly over here, and our take profit would be somewhere around here. So this would be approximately 1.8% profit. Now you guys can clearly see that the market entered this area and closed above this area, then we would have gone long from here, and our stop loss would be exactly below this candle. So our take profit would be approximately this area, which is a 2.3% profit. You guys can clearly see over here. Okay, And now you guys can clearly see that market went till here, and then market started to fall, and market once again entered our area of interest over here. Okay, now what has happened, that market had entered this area, market closed above this area. If we enter over here, then maybe we would have hit a stop loss first, and if we would have entered over here, then maybe we could have made some good profit. Okay, so let's assume that we hit one of our stop loss over here, and then when we entered over here once again, and then our take profit would be approximately over here, and our take profit would be, okay, our take profit would be, this would be a stop loss, so this would be a 1.1% profit. Okay, and after that, when the market once again tested this area and closed above this area, we would have entered a new trade over here. Okay, so if I measure it from here, then our take profit would be approximately till here. Okay, and our stop loss would be approximately till here. Okay, so this was also a 1% profit. So overall we would have made some good profit in this GBP pair. Now let's go back to the 1 hour chart and let us continue with our analysis for today. Okay, let me remove the previous scenarios so we can just identify the fresh setups for this pair. Okay, so I hope that you guys are understanding, and now you guys can clearly see that this scenario is coming into play beautifully. As you guys can clearly see that the market has closed below this area, and now if market at any given point tests this area and close below this area, then we can go short from here. Okay, if we are a non-risky seller, and if we were a risky seller, then we would be short already from here, and we would still be running in profit. Okay, so these would be the scenarios that would come into play. Now let me identify more areas so we can clearly mark our areas. Okay, now this area is going to act as an area of resistance. Let me go to the 4 hour chart just to identify that what is going to happen tomorrow. Now I am going to mark another short term 1 hour chart. Now let me just mark an area within this area, which is this area. Okay, now rather this complete area. Okay, now this is our short term area of support. Okay, so we have to just wait and watch that what this area has in place for us. Okay, so let me just make its color a little bit more green so we can identify it more clearly. So this is an area within the area of support. Now let me just mark all the possible scenarios that can happen tomorrow. So, and this area is also going to act as an area of support, short-term support. Okay, so what I'm looking at is that we are going to look for a good selling setup. Of course, I'm going to further extend these areas as our area of interest. So we have a clear option that what is going to happen tomorrow. Okay, as you guys can clearly see that the market is at a current area of support. If market respects this area and closes above this area, then we are going to go long from here. On the other hand, if market closes above this area of support, maybe we can go long straight away if we are a risky buyer. And if on the other hand, if the market respects this area, then maybe we can go short from here. And if we are a risky seller, then we can go short from here if market breaks past below this area. And if we are a non-risky seller, then maybe we are going to wait for this closing and this area to be respected again, and then maybe we can go short from here. Okay, so these will be the scenarios that can come into play, and another area of interest would be this area. This would be the area of short-term resistance. Okay, I'm going to mark this area with the red color so we can identify this area a little bit better. Okay, so as you guys can clearly see that this is another area of resistance. So if market enters this area, maybe we are going to look for a good short scenario if market respects it and closes below this area. And similarly, if market respects this second area, then maybe we can look for good selling opportunity from here as well. So, majorly, we are going to look for a good selling opportunity in this pair tomorrow. Okay, now let us move on to the next pair, which is gold. Now, let's see that what gold did with us since we last discussed this pair. So, we gave you this selling scenario. This did not come into play. So, we are going to remove the scenario, and we gave you this buying setup, and this only came into play partially, and this selling scenario also did not came into play, and not this scenario as well. Okay, so we gave you a trade that if market respects this support, maybe you can go long, but market did not exactly entered touched our support area, but still we gave you a risky buy. If you would have gone long from here, then maybe you guys could have made a good and huge profit. So now let us check the amount of profit that you guys would have made if market closed above this area. So your stop loss would be approximately over here, and your take profit would be approximately over here. So this is a good 6.1% profit from this long trade. Okay, so now I am going to remove this setup as well, and this scenario as well. Now we are going to look for good opportunities to further look for opportunities to buy gold. As you guys can clearly see that the market was falling, then and then this edge area was respected and broken. Then this area is being now tested once again. Okay, so this area is now acting as a support area, and this area has also turned into a support zone. Okay, so now the trades that we can identify is that this area is also an area of short-term resistance. So what we are going to look for, we are going to look for good buying opportunities. Market respects this area and close above this area, then maybe we can go long from here. On the other hand, if just market closes above this area, we are a risky buyer, we can go for a long opportunity from here. And a third scenario that can come into play is this area. This is now an area of interest. As you guys can clearly see that this area has already been tested. So if the market is going to go long, then this area is an interesting area to look for a good buying opportunity. So we have to be vigilant from here as well. And on the other hand, if market at any given point enters this area, then we are going to look for a good buying opportunity from this area as well. And now if we are going to look for a selling opportunity, then we have to look for this area to be tested and market to close below this area, then maybe we can go short from here. Okay, and if we are a risky seller, then we are going to go short if market closes below this area, then we will go short from here straight away. And if we want to not take some risk, and then maybe we will wait for market to close below this area, and then respect this area, and then once again market to close below this area. Okay, so this setup might any one of these setups might come into play tomorrow, so we have to be vigilant as to from where to identify take a trade. So, and we have to be vigilant for this area as well. If market enters this area and then market closes below this area, then we have to look for a good selling opportunity from here as well. Okay, so let us just be vigilant and look out for all the possible scenarios. The above scenarios still remain valid. If market enters any of the above areas, we are going to look for this another selling opportunity from here as well. Okay, so just wait and watch that what market has in store for us tomorrow from the pair of gold. Okay, well that's all for today. And if you guys would have liked the video and if you guys have understood the analysis, then please give me your feedback. If you would like me to improve on your understanding, then let me know how you would like to know it more better. I will try to improvise and explain a little bit more in detail as to what you would like to know more. Okay, I hope you are going to have a fantastic trading week starting from tomorrow. So that's all from this video. If you guys have not yet subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe to my channel and also click on the like button. So and also click on the bell icon as well, so you guys can receive regular notifications as I give intraday trades on daily basis. Okay, and that's all, and see you in the next video. Thank you.